So good morning, everybody, whoever's joined us bright and early. So we're going to be doing some meditation, as we have been doing for the past 3 weeks. So if you need to get some cushions or blankets just to be comfortable, then this is probably a good time to do it now before we start. So we will be doing a kindness meditation today, so something slightly different from what we've been doing previously. But I'll explain more about that when we start. Bang on 8:30. So we're just streaming live now on Facebook. So just saying hello to anybody who might just be on Facebook now joining us, ready for the session. So this is the last session before Easter break, which is great. So I don't know how many sessions you've been able to come to, but whichever ones you have, or maybe this is your first one, welcome anyway. So just to start in a few minutes. So for those of you who've been back into lessons and meeting up with friends, I hope you enjoyed that. I imagine that was very exciting. Or for those of you who are going back this week to do that, yeah, that's great. It's nothing like human connection and hanging out with friends and actually being able to do things that isn't always so virtual via Zoom. Definitely having a mix of that, it's definitely very much needed. So yeah, I'm very pleased that that's been able to happen for you all. So just saying, anyone that's just joined, welcome. We'll be doing some meditation, so just grab any bits you might need. It's always nice with meditation just to have, even if it's just one pillow or cushion, maybe just to rest your hands on in your lap. That's quite nice, having that sense of support. What we try and do in meditation is try and be as comfortable as possible. And obviously in the morning, tuning into how comfortable do you need to be, because there is a risk of falling asleep if you get too comfortable, which isn't a bad thing, but if you need to get things done, then it's probably not the best thing to happen. Okay, so welcome to anybody else who's just joined. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Okay, just waiting for the 1 minute countdown now. So just settling in for this session. So we will be finishing just before 9 o'clock, just to give you that little bit of a period of transition. If you need to be heading off to a class. Okay, it's nearly on 8:30. Okay, well, 8:30. Sometimes that feels like the longest minute. I don't know why. It's like watching a kettle boil, I guess. It always seems longer when you watch it. Anyway, good morning, everybody. My name is Claire, and I'll be leading you in a kindness meditation for this session. So this is the last session of a series of 4 sessions that we've been running on a Monday morning, and it's been mindfulness for motivation. That's kind of been the theme of it. So we've been looking at different aspects of mindfulness over the past few weeks. So in the first few weeks, looking at how we can develop more awareness for using the breath in meditation. And then the second week, looking at how we can bring more focus and concentration in the body and engaging what we call beginner's mind. So kind of opening up this perspective, having a wider perspective of our experience. And then the last week, we looked at what we call the negativity bias. So how can we bring more awareness to what's positive in our experience to balance out this negativity bias? So this week, we're going to be looking at kindness. Kindness to self. It has quite a few different words. There's kindness to self, loving kindness. There's compassion as well. That's another word that's used quite often. So when we're looking at mindfulness, the kind of definition of mindfulness is to bring awareness to the present moment experience, just as it is, without judgment. So as we've been looking at over the past few weeks, bringing awareness. So we're bringing the awareness into the now. So what's happening now in this moment? As this moment unfolds, what's happening? And we do that because quite often we're locked in our heads. And when we're locked in our heads, we're kind of locked into lots of thinking patterns. And quite often thinking about things that have happened in the past that we can't do anything about, that have gone. And then speculating about things that are going to happen in the future that we have no idea about at all, that we can't control. And this back and forth can create a lot of stress and anxiety. So mindfulness asks us to be in the moment, the present moment experience with awareness. So we turn to that with through physical sensations, what's happening in the body right this minute now, tune into that. What's happening in our emotions, how do I feel in this moment? And what's happening in the mind as well. So if the mind is carried off, we bring it back, and we do that probably quite consistently in meditation. So the last bit of this aspect of mindfulness is a non-judgmental bit. So that's where the compassion, the kindness to self comes in. So that's what we're going to look at in this session. So kindness to ourselves and kindness to others, generally we favour the kindness to others. We kind of feel like that's okay. We can be kind to others. That's a bit more straightforward than being kind to ourselves. So we can see kindness to ourselves as being quite selfish, as if we don't deserve kindness. It's as if it's a gift we can offer others, but we can't gift it to ourselves. That's quite a Western kind of perspective as well, really. We're probably quite a lot harsher on ourselves in the West and as in other places. In the East, there's definitely a lot more emphasis on why kindness to self is actually really good and beneficial for others. So we need to probably work a little bit harder on bringing in this befriending ourselves or kindness to ourselves to kind of unpick this sense of selfishness. So on a biological level, we work on, there's three major emotion systems. So one of the systems is the drive system. So this emotional system drives us to get things done. So it's really essential to have this emotional system. This is part of motivation. This is what motivates us. We have this drive system. Then we have another system that's called the threat system. So this is what keeps us safe. This is what keeps us from being run over if we cross the road. And then we had the third emotional system, which is the contentment system. So this is where kindness and contentment live in this system. Now, what we tend to do is when we're operating on a day-to-day level, maybe we're feeling a bit stressed or we're disconnected from our experience, we go through the drive and the threat system, and we go back and forth between the two. So drive and threat, drive and threat, drive and threat. So what we're trying to do is balance those out. So bring in the third emotion system, which is the contentment one. So I'm telling you all this because it demonstrates and models that kindness isn't just a nice thing to have. It's an essential thing to have to be a happy, healthy human being. We need it. It's part of our emotional system. So instead of going from drive to threat back and forth all the time, how can we introduce more contentment? So we go drive, threat, contentment, or contentment, threat, drive. We need all those systems running all beautifully together, all in balance. So because we are programmed for negativity, as we know, we looked at the last week, we have to put in a little bit more effort around kindness for ourselves. So yeah, it's not just a nice thing to have, it's an essential thing for being a happy, healthy human. So we are all already compassionate beings. We are. So, if a friend contacts you and says, look, I'm having a difficult time at the moment, have you got 10 minutes you can spare me to just help me out? We tend to go generally, yeah, okay, of course. And we'll put things to one side and we'll step in and we'll be there for our friend. What would it be like to do that for ourselves? Check in. Well, actually, I just need 10 minutes at the moment to look after myself. Maybe, I need to just have a rest. Maybe I need to have a sleep. Maybe I need to stop being so critical and harsh on myself. Can I just give that to myself? So this is what we're training ourselves to do, to bring more of this loving attention towards ourselves. Because then when we're more resourced to do that for ourselves, we're more resourced to do that for others as well. So it isn't selfish in respect, oh, I'm just, giving all this love to myself. When I feel more resourced, I'm then able to step in and support others with more balance, really, in life. Okay, so enough of that. Let's do a meditation. So just bearing in mind as well, like I said, having this sense of bringing kindness to ourselves can feel a bit sticky, it can feel a bit icky. You could think, oh, I don't know, it feels a bit weird, or maybe I'm not deserving of kindness. I didn't speak to someone that great the other week, or I did this, I did the other. Try and let that be there, acknowledge it, but let it go. We're human. We're not perfect beings, but we're trying to build this resource to enable us to, when we're kinder to ourselves, to be able to express that more to others. Okay. All right then, so we're going to be doing this for about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. So getting yourself in a comfortable position. So as we said previously, with meditation, just see if you can have a nice straight back. That's one of the most key aspects, really, because when we have a nice straight back, we feel like we are alert in the body. So then we're more likely to bring awareness. If we kind of slouch or a bit, bent over one way or the other, we kind of go into this kind of slouchy mind as well, because the mind and body is all connected. So a nice straight spine. Maybe imagining, your spine traveling through the top of your head, like pulling up to the sky above, and then the spine down through the body, connecting to the earth below. So you're sitting between this balance. If you're happy to close your eyes, you can do now, or just have a very soft gaze. Try not to look at the screen because it can just be too distracting, or at your phone. Okay. So just trying to find this poise in the body. As we said, this sense of alertness in the body, so nice straight spine, but also ease. So we're not sitting to attention. We're just trying to ease the body into this posture. So first of all, bringing awareness into the body to the points of contact. So noticing where there's points of pressure with what you're sat on. So maybe having this sense of dropping down into the body, dropping your awareness into the body. You might notice the points of contact around the buttocks and the back of the thighs. Points of contact, maybe if your back is leaning against something, might feel contact there. Or if your back is free and not leaning against anything, just having the awareness of that space behind the back. Noticing how your hands are resting. Allowing the hands to be soft. We don't need to hold on in the hands. And then moving down to the feet, noticing the points of contact the feet are making. And really having this sense of the earth coming up to meet your feet. So even if you're, not having direct contact with the ground, maybe you're on the second floor, of a flat or in a house somewhere, just having the sense of the earth meeting your feet can really help with this sense of stability, grounding in the body. And checking in on the shoulders, just seeing if we can let the shoulders drop down. We can quite often pull the shoulders up. And then bringing awareness to the head. So we're just seeing if we can balance the head on the neck, on the shoulders. Just moving the head very slowly from side to side, very, very small movements. We don't need to overextend. From side to side and then back and forth, just finding this natural poise of balance. When you feel like you can notice that natural poise, just allowing the head to sit, resting in that spot. And then checking in on the face, just make sure we're not holding on in the jaw, clenching the teeth, allowing the jaw to soften, the forehead to soften, the eyes to rest. And then come into the breath. So we use the breath as an anchor to the now, to the present moment. So if it's helpful, you can put your hand on your chest and your other hand on your belly. And you can feel the breath in the body. Sometimes that's helpful. And sometimes we can get a bit caught up in the breath, trying to control the breath or do special breathing, but we don't need to. All we're doing is bringing awareness to the breath just as it is. So you notice the body rising and falling with the movement of the breath. Just see if you can enjoy the sensations of the breath. Just the simplicity of that. That connection to what is always happening. But quite often we don't even notice. We're just so in the head, going from one thing to the next. We forget we have this breathing body. So just very gently connecting to the breath. And all we're doing, noticing it coming in and coming out. And checking in on the mind. The mind will want to come in and maybe tell us some stories or maybe some anxious thoughts come in, some planning. And if that happens, we just acknowledge, okay, yeah, the mind's busy, that's okay. Bring the awareness back to the breath each time. We don't judge if the mind comes in, it's very natural, that's what the mind does. But we just don't need to get caught up in the stories. And coming back to the breath, just allowing each breath to allow us to be a bit more present. So you might like to imagine on the in-breath, you're breathing in some energy. And then the out-breath, you're just settling a bit deeper, letting go. So the in-breath, breathing in energy, the out-breath, settling and letting go. Just trying to be in this moment as it unfolds. You can keep your hands where they are if you've got them against your body, or just placing them in your lap. And we're going to bring in a good friend into your awareness. Now you might have many good friends, and there might be one person who comes to mind, or just being with one person. So someone who is easy to be around, someone who you have warm feelings for. So just placing them in your field of awareness. That's all we're going to do. Just acknowledging them, bringing them to mind. So you don't need to have lots of great detail about this person. Just the essence of them. Just bring them into your awareness. And I'd like you to notice what that feels like to bring this person who you have warm feelings for, who is easy to get on with, who maybe makes you smile. What's it like to bring them into your awareness? What's it feel like? Maybe there's a sense of warmth, like happiness. Maybe there's an opening in the heart. Just noticing what happens. As we have our friend here, this person we have warm feelings for, we're going to wish them happiness. So just silently in your mind, we can say to them, may you be happy. May you be happy. So really wishing this for our friend, this person who we have warm feelings for. May you be happy. So we're just dropping this in as an intention, a well-wishing. Just notice what it feels like to extend this well-wishing of happiness to your friend. Then we can offer another well-wishing. May you find peace. May you find peace. Just noticing what happens. So you've got your friend in your awareness, this person you have warm feelings for. Maybe you know them very well. Maybe you don't know them that well. But they're another human being. So wishing them happiness, wishing them peace. And wishing them well. Sending these well wishes to the friend. And just tuning in with how that feels. And you can do this with a smile on your face. No one will know. It's okay. So meditation, is a process of enjoyment as well. It doesn't need to be serious. You can lighten around it, enjoy it. What we're trying to do is opening up to this befriending, this kindness, this compassion that's already inside us. And sending that to this person, this other being, this other human. Enjoying having this person in your awareness. And noticing what that feels like. Always checking in with the felt sensation. Maybe it feels pleasant. Maybe there's a sense of warm energy, a happiness there, contentment, a sense of connection. There'll be all sorts of things going on. And just watching the mind. The mind might want to come in and question what's going on. The critical mind might be present as well, judging, just noticing that. Coming back to the well-wishing. And then we're going to bring ourselves into this awareness. So I'd like you to just bring yourself in. So you might have a sense of your whole body being present, or maybe around the heart, maybe. And what we're going to do is extend the well-wishing that you did for your friend to yourself. And just notice what happens. when we do this. I'm trying to be light with this, be gentle. Just saying quietly to yourself in your mind, may I be happy. May I be happy. Again, you can do a sort of smile on your face if that feels okay. May I find peace. May I find peace. I'm just really noticing what's happening when you extend this well-wishing to yourself. Remembering it's not selfish. We really need it to be a happy, healthy human. Everybody deserves to experience happiness, wellness, peace, including ourselves. We're no different to anybody else. Just dropping it in. May I be happy. May I be well. May I experience peace. Whatever that looks like for you, and it'll be different for everyone. Again, watching the mind, if the mind comes in to critique this, coming back to this intention. And if it feels too much, or if you feel like you're getting too tangled around all this, come into the breath, noticing the body, the connection of the feet on the earth. Otherwise, we're going to extend this now, this kindness, this compassion. We're going to extend it outwards to imagining everybody who might be joining us for this practice. So everybody that's on Zoom, the webinar, everybody that's on Facebook, I'm wishing them wellness. We won't be able to see them, we probably don't even know who they are, but just using the imagination. This connection as a fellow human to another human, wishing them wellness. Wishing peace and happiness. And that sense of that connection, maybe from the heart radiating outwards, is well-wishing. And then maybe taking in the people who are occupying space around you, maybe in the same building, extending the happiness, the peace and the wellness to them. Traveling beyond, maybe to the streets outside where you are, the neighborhoods beyond, and just radiating this well-wishing outwards. Maybe to all your fellow students, teachers, lecturers. Just engaging the imagination and the heart. Wishing this wellness. And then beyond, just using your imagination. You might like to maybe imagine flying over these places, dropping these well-wishings as you go. So always connecting with the heart, opening up. Try not to go with the head. The head will want to come in and question what's happening. Just trust. Trust the intention. A way to express kindness, well-wishing, compassion is enough. I'm enjoying the process. Extending beyond England into the rest of Britain, beyond over the oceans, seas, to taking the whole world. All beings, including animals, trees, mountains, seas, everything. So may all beings be happy. May all beings experience peace. May all beings be well. Doing that with a smile on the face, if that feels okay. Just radiating out this well-wishing. An acknowledgement that we've all been experiencing really difficult times over the past year. We've been in this together. And it looks like we might be seeing light at the end of the tunnel. And then coming back inwards into the body, noticing how you feel in this moment. Trying to connect and stay with that intention of well-wishing and compassion and kindness for yourself and others. And just see if you can maintain some of those qualities for the rest of the day, with the openness of heart. And compassion always starts with yourself. So tuning in to any critical thoughts or harsh thinking, when we're being hard on ourselves, just noticing that. What could I do in this moment to just be a little bit kinder to myself? And then we can extend that out to others. So extending awareness to where we are in the space in this moment in time. Maybe noticing any sounds around you. The temperature on your face, on your hands. And connecting with the breath, just for a moment, noticing the breath is present. And then we're going to bring this practice to an end. We're just very slowly wiggling your fingers and your toes, just checking in one last time of how you're doing. And then very slowly opening your eyes. So it's a couple, sorry, I got a frog in my throat. It's a couple of minutes to 9. So I know some of you will need to go. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a fantastic Easter break. I hope you can find opportunities to enjoy and make connections with friends and family. And it's been so lovely to share this time with you. So wishing you all well. And take care. Look after yourselves and each other. Bye everybody. Take care.
Thanks, Claire. That was great, and all the other 3 sessions are great as well. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Oh, it's been my absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It's a
me
lovely way
too.
to start the week.
It really is. It really is. Maybe when things settle down, this is something that next year's team can do as well. I think it's been really beneficial. So thanks very
Yeah.
much.
Oh, great. Well, it was lovely to meet you, Cara.
You
Yeah.
too. I'll send you an email.
Yeah, super. All right, lovely.
See you
Take
then.
care.
Bye.
Bye.